Hey everyone! So I'll start off this video by saying I kind of know what the new trend with Disney is, as, you know, Bob Iger is the CEO now, and it seems like there are a lot of remakes being made of classic Disney movies, and they're being remade to be more politically correct. They're being remade as like a fix for the original classics, and they're making it so that it's better for this new politically correct time, like how they made Belle a feminist, how they made it so that Sleeping Beauty is not kissed by a man to be resurrected, but rather she has to be kissed by another woman. Gotcha. And you know, that's all well and good, because I can just not watch the remakes. I can just not show my kids the remakes. But the idea of the reboots is to replace the originals and make it so the new Disney brand does not have attachments to those original movies. You know, the movies that made Disney. But now we have a new problem, because now it seems like they're going to censor the original movies as well. Maybe it's because they realized, hey, everyone likes the original movies better, so let's change them. So the idea is they're going to be changed for the Disney Plus streaming service that they're trying to push really, really hard. I'm not getting Disney Plus, I said that before. They're not, specifically not adding in the movie Song of the South, despite, you know, it winning an Academy Award, and the main African-American actor who starred in that movie won an Oscar for that. But the first Oscar that any black man has ever won. But no, they just are not allowing this specific movie to be on the Disney Plus streaming service, because, ooh, it's controversial. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about why Song of the South is supposed to be super bad, super racist. I think the original controversy was back when it came out. So part of the problem was Song of the South came out when America was still being segregated. Jim Crow laws were still in place. People were warning Disney, you know, you can't make this film because you can't please both crowds. But he did it anyway because he genuinely loved the Uncle Remus stories, and he wanted to adapt it, and he wanted to animate, you know, the tales of Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. So when it came out, like, one of the first controversies that started about it was that it was glorifying slavery. And it's really something that started because of a misunderstanding. The movie actually does not take place before the Civil War. It takes place after the Civil War. So all the black people in this movie are freed, and they are working, as in, you know, they get paid, they own their own property, because they're not slaves. But that misunderstanding was, you know, spread around all over the place, and people believed it. Disney had to face that controversy, and, you know, they released a statement saying, hey, it takes place after the Civil War. They're not slaves. And in the original book that we're adapting it from, they're not slaves. And then, you know, people were talking about stereotypes. Or I think, like, the one thing people mentioned is, like, because Uncle Remus sings. I mean, I love the song Zippity Doo Dah. One ride on Splash Mountain and I'll have that song in my head the rest of the day. Zippity Doo Dah. It's kind of funny that, like, there's all this controversy around the movie. There's never been any controversy about there being Splash Mountain. There's no one ever complaining about that. But, you know, another thing I heard was, like, because of the one cartoon story about the tar baby, which was literally a baby made of tar, not a black person. And it was made before a time where tar baby was even used as an ethnic slur. I think that started in, like, the 2000s. People complain about the tar baby scene because, oh, well, it would be taken a different way nowadays. God forbid you actually learn what an idiom is. And, you know, Bob Iger mentions, oh, well, it wouldn't be our best interest for our shareholders to bring it back, even if people really wanted to see the movie. But, you know, some people were probably expecting Song of the South to be gone from Disney Plus because it's never been released in home video, or at least not in the United States. I feel like it would have been a good idea to bring it back, but, you know, the Jim Crow character from the original Dumbo will be edited out of the film that appears on the streaming service. So Dumbo is going to be on Disney Plus streaming, but they are completely cutting out the scene with the crows. Either they're cutting out the entire scene with the crows, or they're just cutting out the part where they call the crow Jim. I mean, if you cut out the scene with the crows entirely, it kind of messes with the plot. They did cut out the crows entirely for the Dumbo remake. You know, they changed a lot in the Dumbo remake. But I don't know what the heck their plan is with cutting out the Jim Crow character. I don't know why the heck people were freaking out about the crows in the first place. Honestly, I think it always starts with a misunderstanding or somebody throwing around misinformation. Because you think about what Dumbo is about. Dumbo is about, you know, judging people based on their looks. So if you want to tell me that there are Southern crows, and one of them is a reference to the Jim Crow laws, my response to that would be, of course there is! Because segregation was still a thing when this movie came out. It was political commentary. What? There's a Jim Crow reference in a movie about discrimination and bullying? How'd that get there? Well, there's no way this has anything to do with the plot of the movie. Must just be racism. Walt Disney was an optimist. He was all about people from all around the world loving and accepting each other. You know, hence the It's a Small World big event where all the kids held hands and sung It's a Small World and added the waters from all over the world and into the pool. Racism was still a big problem back when this movie came out. But I think the idea behind the scene is these crows are laughing at Dumbo for thinking that he can fly like they can. You know, they think, that's so silly. You're not a bird. You can't fly like us. And they mock him up until the point where Dumbo's mouse friend steps in and tells them Dumbo's story. And they realize that it's not right for them to mock him. And I think that Walt Disney genuinely believed, like, if racist people just got to know the people that they were discriminating against, if they just knew, then maybe they'd realize what they were doing was wrong, and what they believed was wrong. Then there's this last scene that the article cites. Toy Story 2? And not even during the movie in Toy Story 2. It's an end credit scene that they're cutting. And it's literally just a joke. The joke is that Stinky Pete can get the Barbie dolls roles in Toy Story 3. He's trying to, like, convince them, I feel like this is a really silly one. Like, come on. And of course, it's also possible that there's going to be more censorship. You know that there are a lot more scenes than just the ones cited here. So an example of what could happen later on down the line, we know that there's a live-action Lady and the Tramp movie coming out. Yes, there's a live-action Lady and the Tramp movie coming out. It's stupid. And we know that the Siamese cat song is going to be removed from the new movie. It's possible, hey, are they going to cut it from the original as well, like they did with the Dumbo now? Or well, in the live action movie, it's supposed to be that they are not going to be Siamese cats anymore. I'm sure that they're going to like come out with more censorships, more news about this. As the new CEO of Disney, you have basically one job. Stand by your brand. And you can't even do that! It doesn't take that much effort to be like, hey, Walt Disney wasn't a racist, and we're going to stand by these movies as they were made in their time. You can disagree with me about that if you want. That's Disney's job, to stand by their brand, commit to the bit. This is what you made your money off of. And I also feel like even if you do believe that these movies are racist and that they should be looked down on for these scenes, I still question the logic behind banning and censoring these things. Because banning and trying to remake history in these new movies that are coming out and trying to fix and censor the original, pretend that it never happened in the first place, I don't really see how that's a solution, because many people will argue that by recognizing history and recognizing these things that have happened, you can learn from that history nowadays. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the whole thing. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and of course, as usual, remember to like the video, hit the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Program restart.